Special Powers Act. Headed by Justice Suresh, a retired judge of the Bombay High Court, the team comprising of 3 people met with victims, their family members, and their friends. Extensive meetings and discussions were also held with journalists, academicians, and human rights activists. Victims of rape, families who had witnessed disappearances and killings, spoke to the panel about their suffering. The team also examined reports of other committees constituted by the state government to investigate into cases of violations. They looked at the ground level implementation of the do's and don'ts as advised by the Supreme Court of India to the Indian Army.
I just want to say that this morning we went and met a judge from Manipur, who is now the assistant sessions judge. I don't want to mention his name because he spoke to us confidentially. And in '89 he was the CGM in Manipur, in ANHAD. And what he told us this morning is perhaps something that we can all keep in mind and remember as to the state of affairs in the city. He told us that he was picked up and tortured, a sitting judge, by senior officers, a brigadier, colonel, a major, and a captain. And he was tortured because he was a Naga. There was some Naga underground had robbed the bank. He was a Naga judge. So they picked him up, tied him to a chair, and tortured him with electric shocks on his abdomen. And the shocks were so severe that in struggling, he broke his chair. He went to the High Court and complained. The High Court discontinued its functioning for that day. All the judges of the High Court assembled. He gave his story. An inquiry committee was ordered. And the inquiry committee gave its report in 1995. Until today, that High Court report is pending in the High Court and his case has not been heard. It is a tragedy of justice in this country and the state that a sitting judicial officer can be tortured by the army. The report can be filed in 1995 in his favor. Until today, no action has been taken.
I'm not having any grudge, but this did happen to me. It happened to me because I took a stand. Number 2, it happened to me because I'm a Naga. I say this. Please don't give a communal kind of color. I'm not saying that. The reasons are there. Reasons. But this is incorrect. The reason is because they say Naga insurgency had disturbed life for so many years. And you may be aware of one magistrate, now he's district and sessions judge. He was my student at one time. He also belongs to the Dangkhul Naga community, both Nagas from the same district, because he passed certain orders which displeased the army officers. He was tortured.
Based on its detailed investigations into human rights violations in Manipur, the Independent People's Inquiry Commission presented its interim report to the Home Ministry for comments. Today, 5 years later, the IPIC is yet to receive an acknowledgement, let alone a response. 28-year-old Sharmila Devi had played a very active role in the IPIC. A month later, she went on an indefinite fast. Sharmila was protesting the brutal killings of over 9 innocent people by the armed forces. She has one simple demand as she continues her fast in its 5th year today: the repeal of the Armed Forces Special Powers Act.
I love peace very much, but first of all, we must have the right to justice first. Justice is the foundation of peace.
Sharmila has been jailed, hospitalized, and is currently being nasally force-fed. She has been visited by the Chief Minister and several other officials and has come to symbolize the strongest resistance to the Armed Forces Special Powers Act.
On that day, pung taramathui makhai tabaduda
around 11:30,
Hindi film ama laktuna yengi.
we were watching a Hindi film.
Sibaigi makhon tabaduda
We got to hear the words of the army.
ekhoina tuminna laigare.
We were quiet.
TV muthatlagare.
We switched off the TV,
Adi nongmagi makhon tarai.
and then we could hear the sound of gunshots.
Ekhoina makhada paktharaga
And then we prostrated.
aigi nupana somda
My
yetlomda
husband was on the right side,
andagi isa nupana ekhoigi nupagi oiromda hepi.
and my son on the left side of my husband.
Adagi isa nupina mayai da thangaga
My daughter in the middle,
ichedna matai da thangi.
and my sister at the side.
Ekhoina paktharaga leire.
We were all prostrating.
Samlai phana yum ekhoigi yum anoba sabada anoba saringai matek to aduda khara ekhoigi mati ama yum sagatlaga leiba thong pandaba.
The Assam, on the newly constructed house without a door,
Samlai phani khara changai
the Assam Rifles barged in.
check tawi manungda
They were checking in the inside of the house.
ekhoina paktharaga leibadu ure.
We were just lying down.
Nongmai maru ama kapsalai
We could see that, we could hear that they just shot towards us.
u ama thaktoga pali.
And then it hit, just leaving one tree,
Ekhoigi nupadu mamang adai da tai.
and then it just fell in front of my husband.
Ore second da amu kapae
And then they shot again,
ijegi kok da direct kapsalai.
and this time it hit directly on my headed sister.
Aigi isa nupidu gi pambom da soe.
And then it injured on the arms of my daughter.
Ichedu di khudak ta laigidre.
My sister died on the spot.
Supreme Court judgment in Naga People's Movement of Human Rights, verdict, para number 53, do's and don'ts to the Armed Forces Special Club under 58, acting during operation. The warning to be given. Was warning given to you, to the people in that place by the army?
Warning period prior to the Amina.
Yo kai wani.
Warning, any warning period prior?
Pide.
Without warning,
Pide.
there was no
warning.
no warning.
Then Supreme Court verdict is violated. If the fact is true, para 53, no harassment to innocent citizens. Para 53, don'ts C, not to harass innocent people. Innocent people was harassed or not?
Harassment of Ray had like Nipida
Tell us the facts.
Leda.
Ha.
Nipida Hotel and Nupa Asana Felania. Not the bus Nikupa Copra, not the Basato Brava.
Loin puthoga smang da phi loin.
Yes, there was harassment.
There is a violation of the Supreme Court verdict 97. Supreme Court is above any institutions in India. Whether the commander met list of the persons arrested, this is under subpara number 3, Supreme Court verdict.
Would you please repeat the question again?
Whether the commander made a record of the persons arrested, if any.
Okay, Commander, me Pagabas and the record Tambrai.
Khangde tawde.
No idea.
No idea, okay. Then in page 149, avoid indiscriminate firing. Para 150, number 17, Supreme Court judgment. Was there indiscriminate firing or not?
No, my indiscriminate firing.
Loin bu kape.
Yes, there was.
Then gross violation of Supreme Court verdict by any institution of the Constitution of India. Was there any punishment under Army Act 1950 of the persons involved in firing? This is under para 55, not from tribunal, Supreme Court judgment.
Okay, Army personnel involved to wasn't door. The person of Dandipi Brian.
Pide.
No.
No, then that institution is there to honor the law.
While the routine violence perpetrated by the armed forces in the northeast may not have always evoked a strong response, in 2004, the brutal rape and murder of Thangjam Manorma Devi by the personnel of the Assam Rifles proved to be the proverbial last straw. Outraged by the incident, Manipuri women turned to their bodies to give vent to the extreme anger and resentment against the atrocities of the armed forces. They bared their bodies in front of the headquarters of the Assam Rifles in Manipur and challenged the army to rape them. This unprecedented protest by the anguished Manipuri mothers shook an entire nation, so far obsessed with giving its police and army unaccounted powers, all in the name of national security. This incident brought into focus the Armed Forces Special Powers Act like never before.
We, the Manipur Student Association Delhi, strongly oppose the Armed Forces Special Power Act 1958. We are not only opposing some individual immoral activities of the Indian military forces, but we oppose the politics of the Armed Forces Special Power Act 1958. The politics of the Armed Forces Special Power Act 1958 is to suppress the people, is to oppress the people, and is to repress the people. And we cannot accept this oppressive, repressive, and suppressive act. How can we forget the 10th July when Manorama was picked up from her residence and she was raped, she was tortured, she was cut by knife into different part of, and also she was shot to her private part. After that, our mother came on street on 15th July and they said that rape us, kill us, we are all Manorama's mother, but don't touch our daughter. And we were shocked in Delhi, and we have decided to go to the street to repeal act. What will you think if it has happened to you? What will you think if your mothers came on the street and they being nude and they said that rape us, kill us, rape us, kill us? So it was happened to me. It was happened to all of us, the students of Manipur. And we have decided to oppose this act in principle. We have been going to many places of other universities of India. We went to Kolkata, we went to Bhubaneswar, we went to